Guys, very good afternoon to all of you. Welcome to the video number 328. My name is Ajay, and in this video we're going to answer a question I received, actually a comment which was posted on the channel yesterday, day before yesterday, I believe, by one of the subscribers, Narendra Yadav, and he has written that basically, let me show you actually what actually he has written, and then I can come back to the slide. So this is the question he put up. Hi Ajay, hope you're doing great. Thanks for the help. Our question is: I have 5 to 6 sheets in a workbook and it is having 70 to 72 columns. I want to equal the columns in each sheet using Hlookup. I want to know whether sheet is having 72 columns or not. If it is okay. If it is not, then using the Hlookup and compare it that sheet which is having 72 columns, copy the non-matched headers at the end. Thanks again for the help. This is what exactly, because you haven't shared the data with me in your file, so I have just this is my understanding, I have developed this. So guys, this is actually we want to do. Sheet A is the the sheet which we will not touch actually, and we are going to go in every sheet one by one. We are going to find that all the headers, if they are matching with the sheet A or not, and any header which is not matching, we would like to capture it and we would like to delete it, or you can also keep it separately. That's all up to you, right? For example, in the B sheet, I have header 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and let me so we have all the headers over here, not a problem. You can see that in the sheet A, it is going to find all these headers and they will be available. In the sheet C, if you go, this header and this 100 header 100 should create a problem for us, and we want to identify them. And similarly for this sheet, so he has around 70 sheets, as he said. So that's not the problem. You can I mean, the steps which we are going to follow, that will work for all the sheets, right? So the first thing which I want to tell you is, you see that I have created 2 macros also. I'm going to tell you what exactly why they are there. So this is the video where we're going to learn the Hlookup, if is error, and you should have a very good knowledge about the VBA loops and VBA error handlers. You will get the information in this video. I must say, if you don't have any clue about this, please pause the video and go back and check out my different playlist on my channel, which you just can check from this playlist. Just click on the, you would see there the playlist button, and once you click on the playlist channel, you would see their Excel VBA introduction series and Excel VBA collection loop, because we are going to use that, right? So under that series videos, there are some videos on the errors, there are some videos on the collection loops. I've actually talked about those things in a very detailed manner, right? So this is the question, and before I want to go ahead, I want to actually thank you so much. I want to give you thanks. So I received this email a few days back from the YouTube, and guys, we have completed 1,000 subscribers. This is so awesome. When I got this email, I just had the feeling that I could write each of you and giving you my actually thanking note. Because of you, I mean, it is possible. Otherwise, people, I mean, they are on the channel, but they're, I mean, it's very difficult to gain this much of the subscribers. We have a long way to go. I'm not saying that we are done. Definitely we're gonna rock. We're gonna have thousands of the videos. 2 days back, I think somebody commented me that he loves the channel so much that he wishes that very soon I'm gonna have 1,000 videos, and we are on the 327 video right now. So these comments, when they come, I really feel very happy. And somebody even written that that was a very, I mean, very emotional kind of a comment. Actually, I took it as an emotional one. I was very happy to see that when he said that I'm not sure if I can read read that comment here. It's there or not. Let me see if I can. um, um, it's not there, but he was saying that how could he miss the channel. So that was really very fantastic. He given this and look at this. Mr. Ramchandra said that you are one of the great men in this universe. Thank you so much. Wow, this is great. This is something I don't deserve. Yes, I'm not really doing that kind of I would say great work, but definitely when you get these comments, I feel very um, very happy for that. Very, I think, honored to have these comments from you, these feedbacks from you, right? So this is not only the achievement. In fact, yeah, that's the one. I'm looking 2,000 plus videos by you. So definitely that says that you really love the channel. And this is the one I was talking about. My God, how did I miss your channel? Thank you so much for uploading these videos. Well, thank you so much, Vaibhav. Indeed, I just loved your comment. So one more thing I want to share. Urban Pro is a website, as you can see on my screen. This is a website for the professionals, and this is the Indian website, and they have given me this award, Excellency Award for the 2016, the best teacher, because I also teach actually online. I train people also. Um, Generally, I take classes online, and this is the second thing I do as a hobby. So they did some survey, and I think I was very excited to see this that I got actually the award. Thank you so much. I mean, it's coming from you, I know. Thank you very much. All right, so let's come back to the topic now before I get too emotional. So in this video now, what we're going to do, guys, now you see if you have 70 sheets, then not a problem. What we are going to do, I'm going to first of all use the Hlookup, right? As subscriber also said that he's going to use the Hlookup. Hlookup, we're using the Hlookup, we are going to identify that if this number, if this value is there or not in this row number one. If it is there, what you would like to do is would like to obviously do something, and if you don't, if it is not there, you would like to do maybe something else. So we are going to combine it with the if is error. So instead of working on the all the sheets one by one, it's going to take a lot of time if you have a lot of sheets. Select the first sheet and press your shift key and click on the D, and in this way B and C, D all are selected. Just go here and create the one header, one row, actually the blank row. Now you must be knowing before you write this, before you do this activity, that which sheet has the maximum columns, because I want to drag the formula till that level. So I'm going to write here Hlookup, and we're going to look up this value, the sheet a row number. Horizontal lookup we are using, it's not, you can't use the VLOOKUP. So if the Hlookup actually works, if it is not going to give you the error, then what you want to do? So I'm writing here, guys, if is error. What actually I want to do, if the Hlookup returns the error, okay, that means the value is not there. I want to capture the column number of that cell where I'm writing the formula. I'll just tell you in the moment. Otherwise, what I want is I want the 50 number if value in the false counts. So if the so basically let me change the sequence. Actually, if the error comes, I want 50. The error doesn't come, which is false, which means there is no error because you're using the is error. I would like to capture the column number of that cell. You press enter. See, this is how the formula looks like. 50. Okay, you get the 50 here, and 50 actually shouldn't be the case, because Hlookup is going to pick up this header one, and if the error comes, all right. So let me see. I think why actually we are getting the error, but anyways, let me drag the formula actually. So you're gonna drag the formula till here, let's say, because I don't think so I have so many columns in the other sheets. So right, so everything is coming as 50, which means that I think I actually didn't header one is there, right? So what I'm saying is that if the error comes, then Hlookup should give me 50. That's what I'm saying. So header one seems like it's not available. I think it should be available. We can go ahead and check, or maybe I can see my reference if it is correct or not. Hlookup A2 in the sheet A1 to 1, right? So this is really very strange. I'm going to check this. Let me find it out. This value is there, we know that. So what is doing, okay, so I think I did the mistake here. My mistake, that's why I was wondering, and it's always good to see the errors. So I forgot to write the column number. I didn't write this row index number. Basically the row index number I've written is 0, so that makes no sense. So let's do one thing again. Let me select the sheets again, and now I'm going to write the formula here, which is row number and 1 0 exact match. Yeah, a mistake. Okay, now let me just press enter, and there we go. We're gonna drag it. You must be wondering that why I'm actually taking to the M, because who knows, maybe on the sheet C or D you have the N column also. You have to first analyze which actually sheet has the maximum column, and you got to drag it. Now, beauty of this shift key is that you see that on every sheet now you have the formula. Now what we are doing is why 50, because I know in my any of the sheet I will not be having the more than more columns than 50. In fact, you can see I have only, I think, 6-7 columns, so that's why I'm using this value. Let's say if you have already 70 columns, don't use the 50. That will clash with the column number of the cell, in case where it is going to find that header by looking up the sheet A. So what we are actually saying is, if you know this column function, what it does, I have talked about this in my previous videos also. If I just press enter and I'm going to show you, this returns the column numbers like this, right? So right now I'm the D column, right now I'm on the E column, and that's why it's the numbers. So this is what exactly you need to do. I want to capture the column number 1, 2, 3, 4, because all these headers are available, and that is why you are able to see there. This is the blank, so it's not there, so that's why I'm actually printing here 50, right? Now what is the next thing? Again, you need to, similarly, if you go to the C, you can see here you have the 50 here, you have 50 here. My job is to actually move these 50s in the end, because once you have the 50s sorted in this order, you can simply find it out that these headers actually are missing. That is what we want to do. So I'm going to select all the sheet. Let's go ahead and remove the formula, copy it to the paste special, or alt es you can press, and you can click on the value. Every formula will be removed. Now what is the next thing? Because sorting you can't do in every sheet by using the shift key, so you have to do this step by step. So I have recorded the macro to do that. Let's sort the things. But before I run this macro, what I want to do is actually how I have done, what is the logic. You can record this macro, you can go and record the macro over here. For example, I'm going to record the macro. Let me record the macro. The macro 2 is what is going to be. So I select this, let's say, table, guys, and I'm going to click on the sort. You go to the data and you click on this sort option. You click here, sort by. Before you click sort by, you got to make sure that this should be left to right. Generally, by default, it remains sort top to bottom, but you will have to choose this left to right and then row number 1. So what will happen? The data will be sorted row wise, and the 50-50 will be going to be separated, and you will have a series actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like this. So this is already sorted, so that's why you're not able to see any difference. But let me stop the macro, and let me just do it here. Maybe here you can see, if I just do the same step again, I go in the sorting, and then I sort this row by 1. Make sure that you should have this sort left to right. When you do that, see what will happen. See that all the 50s are joined together now, right? Let me undo it. This is how your data actually was looking like. So you sorted the data, and this is what, when you record the macro, you go to the Visual Basic and you click on the module 3. This is what exactly it does. Selected the column A to M, and then on the sheet B it sorted the data. First it ensures that there has to be no sorting, and then you can see that A1 to M1 is the one actually where we sorted. You can change this M to anything depending upon your column, and then this is the important line where the sorting happens. Sort method, apply, dot apply, and orientation Excel left to right. You don't have to remember this, just record the macro. And this is your A1 to M18. I have 18 rows, so it is gonna pick up the 18. If you have 2000 rows, you can write here M2000. That's it. But the challenge is that, first of all, it is only restricted to the sheet C, sheet B, but every time you have to do it for different sheets. So what I have done is, if I show you this in this the module 1, this I have created a macro sub sorting, and I'm using the same code over here with little bit of the changes. First of all, guys, what I did is I developed a loop called for each worksheet in worksheet. You can see this is the loop actually, right? This is the loop, and this is going to work on every sheet one by one. Because so let me start the code. I'm on the sheet A, and now what will happen when I'm going to click on the sort, this macro will run. So we will start, and if I just go ahead and run this, first thing is that when it is going to select the first sheet, the first sheet name would be A, right? We don't need the A sheet, right? Because the A sheet actually is the one we don't want to touch it. So the var is not equal, this variable which I'm if I just go to the add watch and I show you, this var actually holds the sheet A, and if this is not equals to this, only then we need to sort the data. Otherwise what will happen, it will go in the else mode, right? So let me just reduce the width of this, and I can put it here somewhere here. So when you run this, see what will happen, it goes in the else mode. And now next for the next sheet, I selected the next sheet. In the next sheet, now this var obviously is going to hold B, which is not equals to A, so you will have the complete cell selected. Sorting will be clear, and here you sort the data, and this is how we're going to run this. Remember, I'm using this var here. The code, it was when I, if you record the macro, this var won't come because the variable which we have developed. This would be the sheet name, which in our code was B, I guess, right? So that's why it's going to be var, and this keeps on changing. So you have the sorting. You see in the background, it's sorted. Now it will go to the next sheet. I have a next sheet which is called the sheet C, which is not equals to A. So I'm going to select the entire sheet, and the sorting will happen. So here, sorting will happen, and we have the data sorted. It will go in the D sheet, and again the same step will be repeated. So this is how data will be sorted. Now if you look at this, you see that in the D sheet all the 50s are there. The C sheet, all the 50s are separated. They are starting in the beginning. Now, if you want to stop here, I think you're fine because now you can identify. So this was not required, you can delete it. So on every sheet you can go and check that from wherever you have the 50 getting started, from that particular column to the last column, that till that level you have a value, all the unmatched items would be there, and then you can delete or you can bold them, whatever you want to do. So this is the second macro which we have created, which is going to delete all these unwanted things. Now, to do that, what I have done actually, you can also record the macro, and what you need to do, just on any sheet, just do this, select this, and use the home and the find option and find out the 50. Okay, so once you're gonna find this 50, what will happen when you press find next, it takes you to the first 50 because the search will start from the left to right, and that is what we want to capture it. Now we will be going to capture the address of this, which in your case is coming I1. The problem is when you use the VBA code, it is going to insert the dollar as well, so it's going to give you this kind of a press $I $1. We just need the I, because the reason is when I'm going to write the when I want to delete these columns, column I to M in the VBA, this is how VBA actually considers the columns I learn, and then M or whatever it is dot select. So this is how I'm going to select that, so it will not have any dollar sign, it will not accept the dollar sign. So what I will do actually, in this case, I will simply go ahead and find the dollar position using the find function. So I'm going to use the find function here in the VBA, of course, the same way. I'm just explaining you here. So you will write here dollar sign, and sorry, you will write like this dollar quote, and then you will find the dollar here. The first position of the dollar would come, and then you will use the again find. I've talked about this in my Excel text function series. You can go ahead and check that playlist, right? So now we need the position of the second dollar. So you're gonna write here again the find dollar, go in this text, and this time start your search from the very next position which comes after the first dollar. Otherwise your code, your function will always stop on the first dollar, so we have to skip the first dollar. We have to pretend as in there is no first dollar. So that's why I'm gonna add 1 to it, so the search will start from the very next character which comes after the first dollar sign. So this way you have the 3. Now using the mid function, I'm going to simply go in this text and I'm going to start my search from the first, and then I'm going to cover the 3 characters because I know on the third character I have the dollar. So I basically, my idea is to remove the number which is 1, no number, and then further I will go and use the substitute. In the substitute I go in this text and I'm going to use this dollar sign. I'm going to actually replace this dollar with the space like this. So ultimately you will have your I over here. This is the same stuff we are going to do here in the Excel VB. I'm going to use the replace function, not the substitute function. Right? This is what we are going to do. Now let's have a look what we actually have done. Before I go further, this is very simple actually. We will go in every sheet and we will select this row and we will find the 50. The point is, what if in just case you don't have a 50 coming, because 50 means that the error. Now in this case, like for example in the sheet B, if you remember, we didn't have any header 1, header 3. I mean, we have all the headers. There was chances are high you won't get the 50. You may get the 50, that's fine, because ultimately if you're going to keep the data, your this range to the point which actually also ensures that all the other headers also should be covered. Like for example, here we have the M. Definitely, I mean, you're going to drag this till the M, and you will get the when you drag the formula, you will definitely get the 50s. But I'm just still saying that let us say even when you drag it, you won't get the 50, then the error would come. So if the error would come, then what you need to do, then obviously you don't have to do anything. You have to use the error handler, that in case if the error comes, then you got to go to the next sheet. So this is how we're going to do now. Let's go ahead and run the code. So this is the code, guys, which we have written. Delete unwanted data. This is the complete code you can see here, right? So what we are going to do, I have you can see I have declared the variable. The very first line is important. On error, go to Ajay. If the error comes, then you need to come here in this Ajay part. You can go and check my video on the error handlers. I have talked about them from the very basic level, and the video is I think it's under the playlist Excel VBA introduction series. You can check that out. So I've declared my check variable WSS worksheet because I'm going to run this for each worksheet in worksheet, again the same collection loop. So let us go ahead and run this, and then you will understand it. Here I've used that replace function. Here I've used that mid function, and then these find function, the same steps which I was actually telling you. So when I'm going to run this, this is how first sheet will be selected, which is going to be A. So you know that the first sheet is A, and I have written here that if it is not equals to A only, then you need to do all this action. Otherwise, just go to the else and if, because we don't want to touch A, right? So my check is going to be 0, right? So my check is 0. Next, now obviously the next sheet which we are going to select, that is not going to be the sheet A. So sheet B will be selected. It is already selected. You can see in the background I selected the row number 1. Now what is the next thing? I'm gonna find 50. Now you know that the 50 is not there. I think, let's say 50 is not there, right? Because I have got all the headers matched with the sheet A. So this line is going to give the error, but you have written that in case of any error, you got to go to the Ajay. So the moment I execute this line, it goes to the Ajay. This is how the error handlers actually are written. Here I'm gonna make ensure that my check is equals to 1 from the 0. I'll tell you the reason. This is an important line. Resume next. Resume next means that go back to the line, go back to the line from the next line, actually the line which generated the error. So you got to go back and execute the code, but this time you will choose the next line, the line after the line which actually given you the error. So selection dot find given me the error. This is the if function, which is the next line. So when you do this resume next, again it comes back here, if check, right? Because we have incremented the check here, so my check is going to be 1. 1 is not equals to 1, which is untrue. So what will happen? You will go in the else mode, right? This entire portion is not going to be executed. And the reason, if you're wondering that why I've done that, it's very simple, guys. If you're not able to find 50, that means that all the headers are matching. So why would you actually go ahead and replace the dollar sign with the space and find the position of the dollar? So this entire portion is both for those sheets where you are actually going to find the 50. All right. So else and if. Now again, for the next sheet, I want to make sure that this my check is going to be 0. Next, and now the next sheet is going to be C, which is not equals to A. So the code is going to run. You can see that. Now I'm going to find this 50. See that 50 is found, and it's on the E1. My check is 0 because of this value. So definitely I will go in then, and this my column is going to capture that. So if I just show you in this add watch, let me just in the add watch, see that I got the $E$1. Find 1 is going to give me 1, and find 2 is going to give me what? It is going to give me actually 3. And then finally it will be very interesting to see in the final one what we are going to do. If I just put the watch code on this, you would see that I have the value here which is called the E. So finally we have extracted the the E, basically the alphabet, from all these dollar and the numbers. So finally we have this column, and I just run this line. You see that in the background it has selected the entire column. Right now the column E is going to be there, but I don't know what would be the last column. Who knows, right? But I know that if I select the last column, which is the XFD column of the Excel, it's gonna work for me. So I'm gonna delete them, and there we go. You see that in the background it is deleted. Again, now else and if my check, again I'm going to make it 0 for the next sheet. Again next, and now the time for the next sheet, which is your last sheet. Again here I will select the entire row. You can see in the entire row, and I'm gonna select this 50. The 50 is coming where? Let's have a look. The 50 is coming here on the I1, right? So when you're gonna run this, my code actually is going to give you $I$1. It actually inserts the dollar signs. So we are going to find the dollar sign, find this dollar sign or in this string, which is $I$1, and then we'll find the position of the first dollar, and then this is going to find the second position, the position of the second dollar, and then finally you'll see that get to see here I. So again now I is going to be selected, and from I exit D, we again have a long list. You see that again it is selected. So now run this, and there we go, the data is deleted. see the data is deleted. Perfect, right? If I check again, I'm gonna make it 0, but this time the loop should stop because of the reason I covered all the sheets. And that's why this is very important line, guys. You got to write exit sub. Otherwise, if you don't write it, the loop will not exit. And again, this error handler, which was specifically written for the error handling, it will again be executed, and it can behave practically, right? It can be may not like to see the results, what it is going to do, just in case if the error don't come. So please put the exit sub, because after the next you want to stop. Once your sheets are stopped, and there we go, your actually macro is stopped. Right? So this is how very so easily you can actually write these two macros. But before writing these macros, use the IF-ISERROR with the Hlookup. And I told you that you can use the shift key, and you can select all the sheets, and in just one line, in just one step, you can cover the entire stuff, right? So I hope you have enjoyed this, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, let me request you subscribe to the channel and support me. And guys, I will wait for your comments, and anything if you didn't understand, please let me know about it. Thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.